I want to return that with a piece of beam, not joist, so we can hang stairs off of it. But why don't we unload him and break the news to him? I got a surprise for you, buddy. You're going to New Jersey.
Cool.
You're going to Dex and Docks in Butler, New Jersey, because it's the closest fortress supplier to us. But I'm going to give you an address, and it'll be all ready for you when you get there. So
I guess I'll keep your card, Jazz.
Yep. You can keep the card.
I meant to give it to you.
No, I'm not. I'm just making sure. Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
What's up, buddy?
I meant to tell you, hey, take it easy.
Take it easy, guy. I almost didn't wake up this morning.
You'll ever have a donut better, no joke.
Are those donuts?
Yeah, they're that good.
Dude, look.
They're that good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh.
Well, listen, every time we see each other, we're just gonna do donuts.
Yeah. Fucking cold.
Butler, New Jersey.
Butler, New Jersey, Dex and Docks. Hour and a half, dude. Fucking go get him, Tiger. 42 ledger brackets I want him to add to that. And you know what that is, right? The flange on both sides.
Write that down. Don't forget it.
Yep. If they don't have ledger brackets, get a box of F50s, like whatever's more than 40. Okay? We don't really have to lay on anything because it's all pre-punched on the ledger. You just slide the joist on the ledger bracket. This we did lay out because it's flush.
You'd go up on top.
And we just put the bracket, you know, we put all our hangers on a bench. So you're screwing down like this instead of like this. And then just flop it up there and just drop all the joists in.
That was a nice detail.
That's Scott Kelly, yeah.
That was a nice detail.
That's what everybody says is, how can I sell this? How can I sell this? It's not how can you sell it. How do you separate yourself? So when someone wants it done at a higher level, you're the only guy that can do it. All right, what do you boys need? You're strapping that, getting that locked in. Do we really want to block that up?
We block it, we have to skirt it.
Well, we could block it and skirt it. I actually don't mind that. So I guess we would just, you know, have to check up there to see if it's level. I wanted to change out these two back of the post brackets to double beam brackets and throw another piece of beam on that.
Yep.
That way,
one section.
yeah, that way for this section right here, we'll drop our beam over here. I want to be able to just do a butt seam here with joists instead of having to lap them. Yeah. Although we could lap them, leave it the way it is, but we won't be able to use the beam blocking. Now, I don't really think there's going to be any tile trays in this section.
Okay.
So it's not bad. We could just lap them. No, the double post cows. Didn't even check how accurate we are. Alright, so we started laying this section yesterday. We have our flush beam here, we have a drop beam here, and then we're going to have another layer of drop beams on the outside of the tub. So these joists are just laying in the hanger. They're where they go on the beam, everything's of a nice plane. So what we're going to do is the next step is to square one of these off. So we'll pull Pythagorean theorem, we'll pull a triangle, end of the beam to the joist and out to the other beam. We'll get one square, we'll fasten it with a beam block. This is a beam block right here. This is for 12 on center. So it's a 10-inch block that fits on the edge of the beam, and it fastens either joist beside it, so it does your spacing and your uplift and your fastening all in one device. And what this does is it just goes on the top of the beam in every joist bay, and it spaces your joists, fasten them down. So next step. And so this is our one for layout. I'm going to mark it so I can see it from the other end. I'm going to pull a point to square from. I'm going to be 146 and 15. All right, I need you on this joist right here, want you to put your square on the joist, bump up against the beam, put a line on that. So that'll be our run. Yep, that's it. Hook your square on the top edge of that square. Yep. Alright, so that's 128. So that's the next number is 128 inches is our run. Our diagonal is going to be 194 7/8, and that's a squared plus b squared equals c squared, otherwise known as a 345 square. Okay, we're looking for 194 7/8. All right, hold on. I'm going to come back just a hair, right there. So now just mark that on the beam, and that is square. So then we'll just attach a beam block to that, and then we can just run our beam blocks out from either side while we're building it. Everything will be square here, and then we'll snap it through the outer beam to make sure everything's straight. I do like to just make a couple of reference marks. Sometimes if you put them in really tight, that's the right side of that joist, right?
Yep.
You're butting or you're hooked?
I'm hooked.
You're hooked.
I'm hooked, yeah. So it's
Got
gonna
it.
be
Yeah, X left.
X left.
So I'll just make a couple of reference marks down here. That way as we're laying it, if something gets put off skew, better safe than sorry, unless it gets, if it gets squeezed tight, it can get a little funky. What's that? Which one's on layout? This one?
This one's on layout.
Okay.
I got these two marked. I just need to mark this.
It's Pythagorean theorem, but so really if I have a 20 by 20 deck and I want to square it up and I want to pull a full triangle,
Yep.
I would just go 20 feet rise, 20 feet run, and then it's going to give me my diagonal.
So you need the 20.
All right, which is the same thing if you had a 3-foot rise and a 4-foot run.
Yep.
Then your diagonal is going to be 5 feet.
Yep.
Construction is triangles, and even when it's a square or a rectangle, we're using triangles. When you go in to lay out a foundation for a house, a good architect will put all of the triangular measurements on it. If not, the foundation company takes that plan and they do all those calculations, so they set points off of the corners, and it's all pulling diagonal triangles to get the locations of all those corners of the foundation. When we started this project, the way that we did it is we take a square off the foundation. We run a lateral line for this row of footings and this row of footings and that row of footings pulled off the foundation. Then we run a center line square off the foundation. Then we check the squareness of the crosshair of these lines, because sometimes the foundation will be a little out. If the foundation is bellied a little bit there, it'll push your line out a square when you pull a diagonal from that corner. So once we pull those laterals, we check this triangle and it makes it like hyper accurate. And ask me how I learned that, right? It's from stuff being a little bit out of center, I'm not gonna put a beam block on this one because we're gonna have to header off the edge of this tub outside of layout, so we'll be running a joist not here, but just from here to that beam. So this beam block would lift that up a little bit. So I'm gonna leave this one out. These joists are completely unattached right now. They're just laying on this beam. And that's how rigid this framing system is. So as long as I don't go crazy moving around, they're gonna be fine to stand up as soon as you slide them in. These are kind of a special bit. And it's nice because it's two different sizes. It's 5/16 and 3/8, so the two screws we use. But you can also clean the magnet off. So every time you clean the magnet off, now it fits those screws really tight again. I'm doing layout right now because we're gonna have a set of stairs that come down here. The stairs are gonna land on this deck, and then we're gonna have a section of deck for a landing to this layer before we send stairs down to this walkway. Pulled where that top run starts. I know it's gonna be 6 stair rises, so 5 treads, and I have that approximate here. Then I know I need at least 4 feet of run. Now we need a little bit of cantilever on this beam here. We can pretty much call it wherever we want, right about here, and that'll end. We obviously are trying to land the stairs as far away from this door as we can, and that was the design complication. We had the stairs landing about here, which isn't bad. It'll be last till, You know, so we'll really have like a full tread width here of walkway in between the bottom riser and that door, so that's pretty good. We just want to leave ourselves a little bit of room here to work, because the tighter we are to this post, the less variance we have on these helical piles, and we don't really want that post like right on the corner. We want a little bit of cantilever on the beam. There's a bracket in here and it's not seated properly. It goes on top of the post. It used to be seated properly because there's a notch in it. That would have lifted the beam up a little bit.
There's some other mute out there who just love to watch a man work in silence.
This is reading really level right now, so I don't want to pull it down. Keep an eye on that. Tell me when it flushes out.
It's touching at the post, but these middle are a little low.
More?
You're getting really close. Oh, you're good.
Rust is a cancer. If you leave the little jimmies, they will rust, and they will lead that rust right into the inside of that joint. So as minor of a detail as it seems, it's very, very important to clean those little bits off quickly with the file where you put your touch-up paint on. Too much surface area exposed to that, and it will rust, and it'll lead the rust into the joist. Very important step. What I'm doing is I'm box framing. There's going to be a single step that runs the whole length of that porch. It's going to be 2 rises up. It's about 12 inches above the deck. It's not going to be a full 6-inch rise. This is going to enable us to drop this down below the framing a little bit, and then we'll bracket it underneath and mount it to the building. So instead of using a stringer, this would be what we call a box stair, where we just build like a little mini frame with a ledger and a rim and a bunch of little joists in between. About steel is you can use magnets. Can't do that with wood. It's kind of like an extra hand, you know? Some consulting work we got working with Matt down in New Jersey. All right, I'm looking at a double post to beam bracket.
I got this guy.
Yeah.
Then I got these offset guys.
One of them is for a double beam and the other one's for a single beam. Look at my side for a second. It's going to be a much smaller offset. You see it? See, so that's a single,
Yeah.
and that's a double. You see it? So it'll be flat on the face with the offset on the back.
3 12-foot beams.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
If you're using a 4x4 post, technically you're supposed to run those beams past each other and have it be offset, like sister to the side of each other.
Yeah.
Anything you could screw on the bench, do it.
And then when I slide these joists in, what's it, like 2 on each side, or
1 on each side.
that's it?
That's it.
All right, you're the man, bro. Have a good weekend, bro. I appreciate it.
All right, see you, dude. Good luck. Because this is going to go all the way here. Gonna be able to just up. Yeah, dude. Let's go. Yeah, I want to be decking inside that corner board right there.
With the gun glove.
We could do